Where I then
15-minute walk isn't bad. So here we go. Spine has a debuff on Heroic, very specific to Heroic, that spawns from the Amalg. You have an Amalg, he casts it once. You have to dispel it, and it's going to morph into a buff that when that fades, it gives you a 40% damage reduction. Want to prioritize that on tanks. Now there is a pretty spiffy way to do this. The buff will actually bounce from the right to the left or the left to the right. There is no middle as far as this encounter is concerned. And it will just bounce. So you're going to see it's on Adele, it bounced to Abs, and now it bounced back to Adele. Now it's going to go on Diggs.
I have mine moving.
I don't know why sometimes... So yeah, it bounces left to right, so as long as people aren't on the other side. Single on Abs, please. Is it going to go?
Healing ring?
We again don't have that,
Didn't get it on...
One of the bloods is dead.
So yeah, you want to try and prioritize it to your tanks as best as possible, and then just kind of let it fall on clothies after that. Fucking up blade storming.
This is technically 5 M20.
Bucket on mass.
Smell spawning.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing about this fight is the damage reduction that you can stack by organizing it that way. So here we go, new one out because a new Amalg is out. Try not to be in the left, Rig needs it.
Get on the right side now. We need on the right side now.
So we're going to try and get it onto Riggs before it fades. Now if the other debuff fades, there we go. If the other debuff fades, it will explode and wipe the raid.
This is 9.
So the reason why you need this tank buff of sorts is because every time you kill an Amalg, it reduces your health, your total health, by 5%, each Amalg stacking indefinitely. So that's why there's so much emphasis on killing as few Amalgs as possible, and just rolling with it. Is Brightleaf in this raid? Brightleaf is not. Acrol it is.
Why don't I get PI?
Because you're shit. So I'm going to Shadow Fiend early for kicks so I can get an extra Shadow Fiend in. I'm going to try and force myself to spend some of my mana here. Another debuff.
Create and break this stone.
Now, since all of the tanks have it, I'm just going to try and get it onto a Cloth Wearer. So if I can get it onto a Cloth Wearer, preferably a healer, a Nodozy will work.
Acid skull if you need help.
Then he's going to take less damage because we end up tanking a lot of bloods at the end because you're going to get overran by bloods. It's kind of a soft enrage on the fight. You can't really last a whole lot longer than 12 and a half minutes maximum. So yeah, the faster you get out, the better.
Going as soon as,
now we are 5 healing it. I am going to be bottom of the meters because disc healing on the debuff is pretty limited. But I'm here more for utility for the shields. Because you have less damage, your shield size does not decrease, so you're effectively, you're doing a lot of absorbs. So you've got cooldowns on all of these. He's going to taunt this low Amalg through.
Stun, don't kill it.
It's at 8, it's at 9, I'm gonna...
It'll probably die, yeah.
There we go.
No.
16k, oh my god. So there we go. I'm gonna DPS a little bit to make sure that we get this. You have to get this in 2 pops. Have to get this in 2 pops. Again, because you do have the stacking debuff, which causes some issues. Try and get this on a healer. Zonker's fine.
Extra melee front left.
So there we go. We've got a 2 stack of the debuff. Max health reduced by 10%. And we're going to roll here in just a second.
Get in.
So we're going to roll to get rid of the Amalgs because you do kind of get overran by the Amalgamations. So we're going to get rid of some of those. Another debuff goes out. At this point, it's all about just making sure that you don't let the debuff explode. Priority as to who it goes on doesn't matter a whole lot. If you can get it on Cloth Wearers, then good. Otherwise, don't overstress it, as you are going to lose a lot of throughput trying to get it on as many people as possible. I am tracking the stacks as well so that I can make sure that we don't waste it. Even if it goes on a Plate Wearer, I would rather go on a Plate Wearer than get wasted. So it's on Abs. Now it's on Pix. We'll let it stay on Pix because he died like 5 times last week. What's the trick with Spirit Link? Okay, a Spirit Link takes all of your health combined and then it evenly distributes it amongst the players that are within the Spirit Link. Now the thing is, it's going to keep trying to do that to the people that are low, and their health is never going to move because they have the debuff. So all of that like health redistribution is actually being counted as effective healing into the debuff, and it's essentially going to break the debuff on its own accord because it's just going to kind of chain spam on those people. Wow, Acrol.
Was that a melee swing?
So yeah. Yes, it has to do with the searing plasma. There's a lot more out on heroic. I like they cast twice as fast or something. Dispel for a second. Okay, I've got it again, thank you. Quick mana him there. Stuns back out. So the biggest thing is just getting shields on people that are low with the debuff, since you can't directly heal them. So having the Spirit Link is a pretty big player as far as dealing with these debuffs is concerned, because it will try and redistribute into it until it's broken and they're even health with everybody else. It's kind of like Chain Heal is going to prioritize lower people, and since they have the debuff, they're going to be lower as they're taking damage, and you have to break the debuff to heal them essentially. Is this harder on 10 or 25? No clue. I would say it's about even.
Stun.
Well, I mean, your DPS requirements are a little bit higher, but the point in which you get overran with bloods on 10 man is considerably lower. Like you typically won't have that issue, but it is still problematic to kind of get the comp that you want in a 10 man raid setting. More classical music, and it died.
It was just
Keep going.
So that's problematic. I'm sleeping here.
I'm outswinging.
Watch your spells for a second. So they did just kill it prematurely, was not at 9 stacks. That does cause an issue. That is going to cause us to be in the fight longer, which does mean that we might end up wiping to getting overran by bloods. So that's on Adele. He's not really that useful with that debuff on him. So I'm going to try and let's get it to somebody that's not Yappy.
What?
Oh, Yappy.
Fuck yeah!
Stun.
So yeah, the biggest thing is this is all about control. You want to get the blood as low as possible.
We can go on the next.
Or not the blood, but the AMALG as low as possible when you roll him through the blood so that he pulses less. But that also means that you have to be a little bit more precise with your damage, and if you overkill it like we just had happen, we're now going to have 7 pops total.
You're fine, you got 9.
Alright.
Barriers down for that. And we're going to continue on our merry little way. So we are behind. This is going to make the fight a little bit harder to get through.
Stun.
We didn't have anyone call that out like they usually do.
What? Center is aggro on something and he has the debuff.
So yeah, we're gonna try and heal through this and survive as long as possible, but we'll see what happens.
I've aggro on
This is also gonna increase mana consumption, obviously. So this is gonna be interesting.
Get in.
We're gonna roll here again.
Kill the stun.
This is where it gets tricky. I'm dead. Get dispels. Get dispels.
Last 7, last 7.
Rezzing after this drink. 3, 2, 1, rezzing.
When
Taking
I
it.
Fucking healing rain helped out, right?
Sure.
Stack better, stun.
So I did just die. That's problematic. Whatever. I don't know why I died. Maybe I didn't get out of that fast enough.
Getting noticed. Already innervated affinity.
We don't have a rat. Yes.
Now they're gonna ask if I had a shield on him, but I was gripped at the same time. What can I say?
Got my might. I need buffs.
Stun.
I have priest buffs are out.
This stun.
You like that escape sound when I have to cancel cast?
So yeah, mana is really tight now because I died. Causes issues. I need intellect, please.
Actually,
Stun.
you need a
Going on the next
affinity.
one.
I can't do it yet. I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a couple more bloodstone. A little lower.
I'm conk potting now.
3.
Got something beating on me.
1.
I have no link for this.
I'll use mine.
Yourself.
Stun coming up.
So there you go. You see the link basically funneling into the debuff, breaking it. So yeah, we are overran considerably compared to where we usually are.
In there.
Oh, we
Do
didn't.
it, okay.
Plus.
Plus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna DPS here as best as I can. What are we looking at time-wise on the grip?
Now,
One more round.
I'm
Okay.
buffing it. I don't know why you guys aren't communicating.
So yeah, mana's definitely tight here. What do we get that to?
Get it off me, Nathan. Targeting it.
37.
Okay, we're fine. As long as we survive to this point and get...
Not targeting right now.
If we survive,
Oh,
switch.
shit. Get him quick.
Oh my god, there.
Okay, ready to grip.
Okay,
Should have a macro at this
Ready to
point in the fight to target a Malik.
Grip
Only one
now.
active.
So the purpose of the grip there is we are using stuns to kite the
Exactly,
ads,
get them
as we
out.
are using a pally tank to do it, which is kind of interesting.
Stun.
If you can.
I'm just DMing here.
I did. Dragon Spine.
Yeah, so kiting with a paladin tank instead of a warrior tank is definitely problematic. But you know, we didn't have a whole lot of issues with it like we thought we were going
We're
to.
gonna need more blood down front.
Yeah, I'm
Stun.
helping. Switch.
So biggest thing at this point is just keeping it as controlled as possible. Obviously, it's going to be hard with how many people, you know, with our mana. I'm going to die again.
Plus res.
I can't res, so digs or no digs can't. Just
Stop.
okay.
Swear.
Here, lock res.
One. I
Stop
got wall
hitting
one.
it.
I got wall one.
Stun.
Bear in 9 seconds.
Get everything up. Get everything
Barriers
up.
down. This is definitely going to be a tricky one.
Take the res.
Bear's up now.
Killing this corruption.
Should be fine. So there's how to increase a fight's difficulty as much as humanly possible. It's by making the fight last longer. One shot though, so there we go.
My Deathwing killed me.
Super smooth.
Do we have a 10-minute fight to hero or less twice? No. You're not going to have enough time to do it.